Hello everybody, hope everyone is healthy and well. As has been mentioned in a bunch of the previous videos, we're currently in a time period in the Jewish calendar of national tragedy and mourning. Many bad things have befallen the Jewish nation during this time period, and specifically culminating with a week from Thursday is going to the day of Tisha B'Av, which is a day of many tragedies in the Jewish calendar, most specifically the destruction of both temples in Jerusalem. I wanted to spend a few minutes right now discussing the relevance of the destruction of those two temples to us nowadays in 2020. So to understand something in Judaism, we always look at the name of something. Unlike many other languages, where what we call something is just a way that me and you can both communicate to understand what we're referring to, in Judaism, in Hebrew, the word itself actually carries a depth to what the item is. It describes its essence. So if we look at what the temple is called in Hebrew, it's called the Beis HaMikdash, which literally means the holy house. Bayis is a house, and Mikdash is holy. And if you think about it, there were a lot of elements of the temple itself that were very house-like. We had a shulchan, we had a table which had the showbread on it, we had the menorah, we had a lamp that lit up the space, and in prophets it actually refers to the Holy of Holies as the bedroom, the place where there was an intimate connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. What is a house? Why are we calling the temple a house? What's the significance of a house? So if you think about it, what a house really is you have two individual people, each with their own backgrounds, their own personalities, their own desires and goals in life, and they come together to build a house. They join together in a unified way, based on their commonalities and shared goals to build something greater together. I kind of think of it imagine a Venn diagram, where you have the two circles with an overlap in between. So each circle is each individual, and then that overlap in between, that's the house. If you look in Hebrew, the word, as we mentioned before, for house is abayis, and the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Aleph, Beis. Right? Beis, the second letter, is the exact same word as the word bias. Beis, which represents two, it's the second letter, number two. The bias is the two, it's the overlap between these two circles where both parties coexist, and your goal in a house is to increase that area of overlap and to shed yourself of those outside differences that you have, and increase that middle overlap until you push the two circles closer and closer and closer together until you basically end up with two concentric circles. When God reveals himself on Mount Sinai, the Jews experienced the most deep spiritual connection to God they ever had. And it was so unbelievably spiritually real for them. But there was one problem. How are they going to sustain that? How are they going to keep that up to continue this deep relationship with God? So right afterwards, God tells them to build him a mishkan, a dwelling place, where they can continue that experience, where they can basically build a house together. Now that we both have this common experience, let's build a bias. Let's build a house where we can exist together with our goal of expanding that commonality. The goal of this was not just to have a holy place where you can go to and feel inspired, but it was meant to be a house for every single Jew in their relationship with God. A place where they can go connect to God in a deeper way. It's a place where you experience this spirituality and we're able to build your house with God in this space. The verse actually says, Ve'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'socham, build me a temple and I will dwell in them. It doesn't say in it says in them, and the commentaries all explain, the Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh explains that what God was saying was, through building this house, it's not just that then I'll have a house to live in, I'll live with you, I'll live in you, I'll reside in each one of you through this house. So the purpose of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and later the temple was to be the house, the place where we married God, where our lives intersected, we were able to shed our outside differences and connect to that which binds us together. And the difficulty in today's world, when we don't have this house, it's a struggle for us. We don't really experience that spirituality in a real way. We lost our place of commonality. We lost that overlap in the Venn diagram, and we're just living in our own circle, trying to bring back that middle ground. In the times of the temple, there were miracles happening all the time. You went to the temple and you felt God, you recognized, you remembered what it was like living in that house. And perhaps that's just a glimpse of what we're missing, what we have to look forward to as we continue to build ourselves and build the world around us in preparation for Mashiach, and we can learn and appreciate this. Will hopefully merit soon in our days to see the coming of the Mashiach and the building of the third temple. Hope everyone stays healthy and has an amazing week.